public meeting of the Henry County Redevelopment Commission to be open for business. First item on the agenda is review and approval of the minutes of our meeting held October 31, 2025. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Did everybody get a copy? I should ask that differently, shouldn't I? Did anybody not get a copy? Are there any additions or corrections? If not, they stand approved as circulated. Next item on the agenda is the financial information. Corey, can you take us through that, please?
Yes, thank you. The general fund account balance as of November 21st is almost $150,000. Our budget for the year was $87,070. We've expended a little over $39,000, and then that next section is the income. And so we budgeted $57,200 and have received $76,000. The difference there is the easement purchase, the reimbursement from the Tourism Commission for the audio video, and then also payment in 424 on the 3830 South State Road 3 rental. The next section are claims paid from that fund since our last meeting, and they total $1,035.75. And then turning the page, you have a listing of claims paid from the TIF accounts, which are held at Greenfield Banking Company. There are several, and they total $2,334,347.42. The bulk of that is represented by the purchase of real estate. So that is date 11/12/25. There's two of them there, and the vendor is Indiana Title. So you have two transactions because we pulled it from two different accounts to fund the acquisition of 94 acres on the south side of County Road 400 South, which we call the Rock site.
And the reason it is in two, that we pulled from two different funds, is because we used the balance of the money we had from our bond issue?
Yeah, so we zeroed that account out.
Okay.
And then we took the difference between the purchase price and what was available in that bond account, and that came from increment on hand. And if you flip over to the obligated funds report, line 4, we budgeted $292, and we spent a little over $236.
Okay.
And that is done. And so that line item will disappear on a future report. And same with line item 11. The subdivision grading along Hayes Way. That contract is complete as well.
Now I've got to say, I wasn't really excited about spending that money on it, but man, it looks 1,000 times better.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yep.
I'd be happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, I'd appreciate a motion to ratify those claims listed out in both the general fund and the TIF accounts.
Is there such a motion?
There is.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion carries. Thank you. Let's go into the discussion of sewer upgrade.
Yeah, so I've invited Keith Bryant from United Consulting. He's sitting here to my left. I've forwarded you 2 emails, and then in your packet you also have the printed options. And so there are 4 options. I wanted you all to have the ability to engage with the engineer, the firm that would be designing this. Keith has worked for the city of Newcastle Water and Sewer for a long time. Correct?
Yeah, 30 years or so.
30 years.
That's 4 longs.
Yeah. But real quick, if you look at your obligated funds, because as most decisions come down to finances, I wanted to start out with, look at line 7. We're going to receive a reimbursement of $1 million. That is, the $1 million reimbursement is not shown, but it is forthcoming.
Okay.
And so essentially what I'm asking you to do is to reinvest that same line item into one of these options.
Okay.
So from a planning perspective, it's really not any more money. It's not changing the bottom. There's really no impact.
So on line 7, it says approved 1.2 million, and we paid 739,000. But it's not completed, so is there more expense in that line item?
No.
So, okay, so it's essentially completed.
We will expend $1,285,000 to get the current project done.
Okay, that was, I guess.
Including the change orders.
Okay.
Okay.
That's already encumbered.
Yep, and we're gonna get $1 million back.
Okay.
And that $1 million is not reflected here
Okay. Nice.
because the quote unquote check's in the mail. I'm invoicing the region and we're gonna get our first check in the next 30 to 45 days. And ultimately, we're gonna draw down.
So when we receive that $1 million, that zeroes everything out.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sitting over adding numbers that don't come out to 0.
So essentially for this first project, so not the options, we will have spent $285,417.
Okay.
So said differently, instead of spending 1.2, we're only gonna spend 285. Because I know we're getting $1 million back.
But you're asking for the $1 million to go into one of these projects.
Yes.
So it's $1 million only. I think I understand, what these guys are trying. So there's nothing left in this line. We're talking $1 million total. That's all we got to play with on that line.
You approved $1,285,000.
Yep.
We're gonna get $1 million back.
Okay.
And technically,
So we're gonna be out 285,000.
yes. Technically, we've already committed to spend the $1 million. That's how we got the $1 million. It's just a matter of where
Okay.
we spend it. This is ready to funds and we need to match it. We have until, I think 2027, maybe early 28 before they come knocking on our door and say, well, we've already paid you $1 million, where did you spend your $1 million? Clear as mud?
Clearer
Okay.
than it was.
So I turn the floor over to Keith to run through the options and then you all can,
I guess I got one more thing.
yeah, sure.
You confused me on that last bit. The $1 million we have coming back, we've got to spend it plus another $1 million?
We have to spend $1 million of our money and not be reimbursed for it.
Which isn't that $1 million.
No.
Okay. So in order to keep that $1 million, we have to spend another $1 million.
Yep.
Okay.
But the impact on our obligated funds, when we get the $1 million back and we just put it back in that line item, it's not gonna change that much. The bottom line is not,
But we got another million we have to spend. Where's that coming from?
that'd be the $1 million that they give us.
Okay, I'm so confused.
Me too, I'm going.
Yeah, you lost me there.
Okay.
So did we spend, I guess this, I get what you guys are saying, cause it's kind of in circles here. Did we spend 1.2?
We're in
and
process, we're in process of spending 1.2.
and we're getting $1 million
And
back?
we're gonna get $1 million reimbursed.
And-
That is the grant.
And so our net, but we still, at the end of the day, we're going to spend 2.2
Yes,
and it cost us 1.2.
correct.
So where's the other million coming from?
The million is the million we're getting back because it's,
The other $1 million.
they're reimbursing us for the first million we spent already. Then we're gonna get, so we're gonna have 2.2 to play with. We only budgeted 1.2. So the extra million is what, the million in reimbursement is the million we're getting. But,
Okay, so,
We're just reinvesting it,
yes,
so on line 7,
much clearer.
does that investment satisfy Ready?
No,
Okay, all
it
right,
does not.
all right. So then we're getting $1 million, regardless of item 7, we're getting $1 million, and we have to have another $1 million with that, that's
Yes.
ours.
Yes.
Okay. So then I'm back to Paul's question, I guess. Where does that other $1 million come from that we have to commit to? We have another
see, I
commitment.
think you said
of-
yes, but I don't think you meant yes.
That's, yeah, I think that's
I think
where the
you said
confusion
yes.
is.
So
Now I'm confused.
the million we get back has to be spent, and that's what's considered our match money for the first million that,
Okay, we just have to blow $1 million.
Yes.
We don't have to come up with another $1 million.
No,
Okay. We just have to show them that we spent it on something nice.
The $1 million
and
is
bright and
already
shiny.
committed.
It
infrastructure.
doesn't necessarily have to tie to item 7.
It does need to tie to infrastructure in the industrial park.
Okay. All right.
We got
Yes.
$1 million to spend.
yes.
Yes.
And that
I think that's the
satisfies
bottom line. We've got $1 million to spend in 4 projects that are all mostly way
that.
over.
We have one option.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
We have a project going that we're going, we came in under budget, but by law, we can only do a change order for
20% of the
20% of that. So we're gonna use that 20% on, at TS Tech, taking water and sewer underneath to the Rothrock property as a change order. But this $1 million, we can't use it as a change order, because I was wanting to keep the company in town that's working right now, just have them keep going. But can't be done, so we don't wanna lose the $1 million that we already have projected for Ready 2. And this is the procedure that it has to go through to be able to use that $1 million. Is that correct? So all this is to benefit the industrial park.
So next month when we meet, assuming all the stuff we're talking about has already been done, is our bank balance gonna be $1 million less?
No. Assuming the reimbursement comes in.
It's possible that the reimbursement could get here in January.
Our bank balance will be higher.
So
So on this,
have we already spent? We've already spent $1 million, we're gonna get reimbursed for that.
in round figures, yes. In specific figures, we have spent $739,988.
Okay,
Out of the 1.2.
Out of the 1.2, I'm telling you that we're gonna get $1 million reimbursed based on this spending. So essentially, this first project to us only cost $285,000. But to keep the $1 million and to be in good standing, we need to spend $1 million.
We need to have a
That's
project
not
to spend it
reflected
on.
here.
we've already spent the 739?
Yes.
Okay, it's gone.
Yes.
Okay.
And based on getting numbers from Keith in terms of their work, and then I already know the contract from Likens.
Okay, I'm with you now.
So the impact on this document changes very little.
You drug me along. Now I'm there.
It was tough to get there. I get you.
All right, Keith. Rescue me.
Keith, have you met with us before?
We have, yes.
Okay, so you've met everybody and,
I believe so, yeah.
okay.
Probably not Melissa.
You know,
Oh, that's right.
Melissa.
Yep, Melissa True with Henry County REMC.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
and the only downfall I have to introduce him is that he is a graduate from
Here we go.
So we'll talk slow.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
You,
No.
Just
you
don't-
have,
just don't
you have
talk
no
football.
idea what you just opened yourself up.
Just don't
I
talk
did put the
football.
bear over
Just
there,
don't
didn't I?
talk football, that's all. We just don't want to talk anything about
That's
football.
right.
Scotty is the Purdue Pete fan. Owns a property right across from the football stadium. Never misses a basketball or football game. So I wasn't knocking you. I was just trying to dig at Scotty a little bit. So anytime I get a chance to dig at Scotty, I got to take every
take it.
opportunity. Fair?
He does. Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's a two-way street now.
It's a two-way thoroughfare.
I take great pride in saying that we occasionally have a battle of the wits, for which the mayor here is only about half prepared.
There you go. At least you didn't say he was unarmed. That was worse.
We have fun. We have a lot
At
of
least
fun.
they gave you half.
He gave me half.
Yeah, we take our responsibilities here very seriously, but we certainly don't take ourselves very seriously.
You gotta enjoy life.
Yep. The floor is yours, Keith.
All right, so I think everybody is, Corey mentioned, have these emails. So what we were trying to do, working with the city, is, okay, how can we increase capacity to the business park area and at the same time eliminate perhaps some lift station issues that we have? Because right now, you get down further south there's a TS Tech lift station that pumps up to and gets to this northern lift station that's at CarQuest. And we've had all kinds of issues with those. So, long story short, we went out and surveyed and saw what physically we could do. Because if you look up there at Sandy Gale on the top left corner of your exhibit, 5-6 years ago, the city spent several $1 million and ran a new 36-inch interceptor from there all the way down Spiceland Pike to just close to the wastewater plant. The goal was always to extend that further for more capacity, subject to funding. So what we would do is connect there. Ultimately, under any scenario to get more capacity, we would connect to that 36-inch interceptor, run it to the east end of Sandy Gale, run it south, and then cross over County Road 300 south and head south. The question was
Is the red line the to be added?
correct.
That's the proposal.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Thanks.
So you can see there the only way we could eliminate, so we shot grades out there, and we actually lose 10 feet of elevation on by ground from that corner to the northwest down to that lift station, believe it or not. So we're kind of fighting grade.
So you going uphill 10 feet?
Yeah. So we're fighting grade there. So the farthest we can extend that gravity sewer at minimum slope is to the end of Executive Drive. But we can do that and pick up the sewers there and eliminate the CarQuest lift station. And we don't necessarily, depend on what option, if any, we go with here today, we don't have to do that today, but that would be an ultimate goal to eliminate lift stations because that's just constant headaches and cost. So to run that line, that entire line under that option one, if we were, we all had all the money in the world that we could have, it's about $2.4 million.
And that'll take that'll install a 36-inch line from Sandy Gale, from the west end of Sandy Gale to the intersection of Commerce and Executive Drive.
Right.
And then what happens when you get there? You tie into something that's already there?
We pick up, there's a gravity sewer that runs from Executive Drive, and that intersection Executive Drive and, it's Commerce Drive. And it heads north and goes to that lift station I was talking about.
The TS Tech lift station?
No, the CarQuest.
CarQuest?
Okay.
So to be able to pick that line up, we have to get all the way down to that point, because otherwise we have to leave that CarQuest lift station. But everything south of there would still tie in the same way it does, which is TS Tech lift station. Force main comes up through there and ties to a gravity line. Did I answer your question, or did I confuse?
The gravity line you're talking about isn't shown here.
Correct. This is just showing proposed lines.
Okay, so it's not like the 36-inch line to nowhere.
Oh, correct. We already have connections at that south end.
Okay, I got you.
Hummus ties into
And
that
it's-
now, TS Tech
TS
ties
Tech.
into that, and the new project.
The spec building down there ties into.
Spec building ties into it.
NEO would tie into that.
Oh, that utility company?
Yes.
Yeah, and we just won the lawsuit.
Transition.
The Rock property.
The
would tie in.
Rothrock property will tie into that.
And
also.
so south of that south of that red line, I guess I should say, we've got a gravity flow to,
There's a short gravity section there, and then everything else goes through that lift station that's at TS Tech and pumps up to that gravity line, which can't, it's off the map here, but
Well, and everything there now is an 8-inch line. We're take 6 and 8, 6 or 8.
the force mains are, yeah. There's actually, according to the plans that Corey got me, there's 12-inch line south of that lift station.
So we're taking it from a 12-inch line to a 36-inch line. So
wow.
we're taking care of not just this year and next year. This will take care of
I would
deep
say,
into the
would
future.
say though, if we add a lot down there, we're gonna have to do something with TS Tech lift station and upgrade it, because it will become a bottleneck at some point. But you gotta start the downstream end where you have capacity and work that direction.
Why do we need 36 inches?
For the future.
Well, I understand, but that's a lot.
With the battles that we've had with hummus, it's not a lot. And like he just talked about TS Tech's lift station. In the beginning, that's TS Tech's lift station. They paid to have it put in, and we didn't. And we're using it, and we're corrupting the whole system right now.
Okay.
So if we want, 2 months ago, when Corey sold that lot across the street, I said, if they have 2 employees that work there, we can't take it. We can't accept it. I mean, that's how bad it is. The hummus plant has got it in gear and really improved things. The Sandy Gale, this really doesn't have anything to do with you guys. There are 6 lots in there that are sold. If the city water residential, it opens up back here by the corn company, all that to tie into residential. Here's what I don't understand. Sherry Lynn Drive, why some mayor would let water go in there but no sewer go in there, it makes no sense. But it happened.
I could tell you his logic, but go ahead.
Well,
It has to do with votes. Go ahead.
so this would help be twofold. This would allow residential to come into it and secure the future for commercial south.
And part of your question too is if we had a crystal ball, maybe we only need a 24-inch pipe,
Yeah.
but we don't know what's going to happen. And then the other part of that is to get a permit for this from IDEM, we have to put the sewer in at minimum grade. They have a minimum slope that gives us our scouring velocity to keep the sewer clean. If we don't run the 36 down there, we can't get to this intersection because of that grade, that elevation difference I was talking about. Because our minimum slope on a 24-inch is about 3 times what it is on a 36-inch. So we wind up coming above ground before we could get down there, so we can't physically make it work.
Okay. I'm just thinking, the cost between a 36-inch line and a 24-inch line is,
It's primarily the material only, so it's $20 a foot or something. It's not dramatic.
it's not that much.
Right.
Okay,
It's
very good.
It's relatively small in comparison to the cost. Most of the cost is the labor and the base material. So that's that option. We did look at another option is, again, just trying to fit budgets without knowing what budgets were. And that option 2 is basically doing the same thing, only ending at the existing lift station.
At CarQuest?
Correct.
Okay.
That would require us to keep that lift station online, but we could have a very short force main, which reduces the maintenance somewhat. If we're getting some stuff from a hummus plant that plugs up the force main, at least we get a short force main. The result of that is we save about $288,000, which is not insignificant, but we would eat that up in 10 years operating that lift station, and then have to keep maintaining it. So
That's option 2.
that's option 2. So that's the difference between those two. And again, just trying to see what the options were out there and what the budgets are. Option 3 would be basically a commitment to leave that CarQuest lift station online and basically just run the 36-inch line down to the intersection of County Road 300 South and Commerce Drive, and then upgrade that lift station and replace with a larger force main up to that point so that we increase the capacity there. Be a larger force main and probably new pumps. Basically, we have to keep everything to the south the same, but it does give us capacity. But we're talking about $1.8 million roughly.
So 600,000 less than option 1?
Correct.
Okay.
Then finally, option 4, which is basically, again, a budget. How far can we go with a budget? We could extend that 36-inch interceptor roughly over to the east end of Sandy Gale, and that's going to use most, it's going to $900 some odd thousand estimated. All these numbers are estimates. We get our unit, we basically have figured out what the lengths of the pipe are, what structures are, and then we look at recent bids, apply unit prices. If it's going to be next year, we put inflation in it. I mean, we could get better bid numbers. These could be higher, they could be lower. We can't control that, but they're reasonable numbers. And we try to make them conservative. We put some contingency in there, so hopefully we can get lower numbers when we do get the bids. But last thing we want to do on the bid day is our number be the low bid, because then how we're going to pay for the difference.
So
So
what's option 4 help with? What are the benefits?
it's basically, it extends a certain distance and is a first step in a future, and you would ultimately have to extend that further in the future to be able to have more capacity in the industrial park. So day one, it doesn't give us a lot from the industrial park. It just is it's the initial step to extend. Correct.
The city has money to put towards this. Just this past year, we've done at least $1 million worth of favors for the hummus plant, and cleaning it and new pumps, and so I mean, this would be something that the city would invest in also, as far as skin in the game. And not to interrupt, but I guess with my realistic goal at this point in time would be phase 2. If we could get to the lift station, man, that would be.
When you say phase 2, you mean like the second?
Option
2?
Option 2. Sorry about that. Yep, yes. The 2.1. We could get to that. That would be huge.
But then you're not that far off cost-wise to option 1, and by the time if you did option 2, and then everybody left, and then you had to rebid it and all that stuff, it almost feels like you ought to shoot for option 1.
And the continued expense of dealing with the lift station.
Still
Yep.
there.
Still there.
Option 2
I thought option
option 2 eliminates the lift station.
No.
No.
It just
No.
gets it to it.
So
Gets-
the only
gets it
one
to-
that eliminates the lift station is 1.
One.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have to go beyond the lift station to pick up the lines that are coming from the south. Otherwise, we just can't make the elevations work. That's why we went out and shot those to see what we could do.
Yeah, for $300,000 difference. You're right, John.
10 years
It's
of
gonna cost
operating.
more than that to get equipment back up.
Yeah.
So We have 1 million is all that we really, I mean, looking at this, we only have 600,000 left in our unobligated funds, according to our own report. How much money do you say the city has to throw at it, Mayor? What skin?
$500,000.
So that didn't even get you to, that didn't even come close to option 2.
Would be spending proceeds from the Shell building sale.
But then how do? Okay.
And we put in our pocket 3.3.
Well, minus the real
The
estate.
asking, or the agreed upon price is 3.3
Minus.
minus all the expenses. I'm projecting that we're gonna be close to 3 million net. We do have debt. There's not a mortgage on the building.
Right.
So it is at our discretion whether we pay that debt off or take the proceeds and invest in the mission of the organization. And at our last meeting, I talked about some projects and kind of rank priority just from my perspective. And the number one priority for me is infrastructure before we would consider anything else.
Not another shell building.
Number 2 is Shell building.
Okay.
But if I don't have water and sewer,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. And so,
Yeah, but
If you don't have a building, you don't need water and sewer. Go ahead.
exactly, it's kind of, and then, but we also have to consider if we get Dubinger settled. We originally had the money set aside for that. We've already pushed away $1 million of that to give to the industrial park for the city because of the upgrades already needed. So we're gonna have monies to spend on that to make that a marketable property as well. I don't know, we've spent more on water and sewer than I think we have anything since I've been on this board. And it's been a concern because, I mean, and I know, I get it, but we get nothing, I mean, we get the option from the back end of having an option to have something there, but, you know.
So I think one of the last discussions I had with you, and I don't know if it was in this group or just privately, that you talked about maybe a 25,000 foot square or shell building.
yes. I have no idea.
Well, I guess the 50 was 3.3.
Well, cost.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what a 25,000.
So obviously at least half, maybe a little more than half, I would guess.
Yeah.
Just-
And we still haven't ran to Rothrock with the water and sewer that we need.
No,
completely.
running to Rothrock is included in line 7. It's already there
It's already there
because
completely.
we approved we approved a change order.
Okay.
Yeah. It gets it under the County Road 400 south.
Water,
You might
sewer,
have missed
both.
that meeting, Chad.
Okay, I may have.
Yeah, I
And so
don't
what-
know that he was here for
So
that.
what one of these options does is if we look at that pipe as a highway connecting Rothrock to 300 South, we're opening up the northern section of the highway.
To be flat honest with you, with the line that's in there right now, if we could not put another boar's head on Rothrock property and come through the system that we have now, there's just no way. That fair to say, Keith?
Yeah, you'd have to upgrade the TS Tech lift station, and right now you can't upgrade it because the bottleneck's Carquest lift station.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
To do both.
So maybe 3 million from the shell building, roughly.
Yes.
1 million from the ready
Yes.
rebate or whatever you want to call it. 500,000 from the city if we move forward with option 1 or option 2. It sounds like at least. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So 4.5. option one is 2.4, so that leaves us 2. So is the question as simple as, does 2 get us a 25,000 foot square shell building?
And I don't know the answer to that.
But I guess is that,
But even if it did, my recommendation to you all would be invest in one of these options. Invest in the sewer. Because if not, then the 94 acres that we just purchased last week, we cannot serve.
right. So, right, so that's priority 1, and I guess then if the 2 doesn't get us started on a new shell building, then we just wait a couple cycles until we build up enough that
Yes.
you can do it, or we look at, I don't know if we have any more bonding capacity, or if we're interested in that, or what our temperature is there, but that's kind of your thought.
Yes.
With Senate Bill 1, I'm encouraging people not to do any bonding for a couple of years if it's.
I was gonna say the same thing until that settles and they figure that out. That's what Baker Tilly's saying. I would not,
Okay.
I wouldn't
So-
recommend we do anything with bonding until we see what shakes out from that, because they could come in and decide as much as everything, they could start playing with the tips as part of their opening all this up, because this thing did have a massive impact, especially to the lower income homes. And we've got a fair amount of those in our community.
So our unobligated revenue for next year, according to Baker Tilly, is approximately 600,000. And that is not reflected on your obligated funds. What is also not reflected in the obligated funds and not reflected in the 600,000 that I just told you is the most recent Boar's Head expansion, where we did a 75-25 split. They have not started paying. We expect them to start paying in 2026.
Really?
And we'll start seeing some
Pay down.
revenue. 75% pledged to their bonds,
Yeah.
25% comes to the commission. And so none of that is reflected in the financial information that you have in front of you.
What potential, I appreciate the 500,000 that you estimate, without really having any advance notice that anybody's gonna ask you that.
I told him to come prepared.
For,
I mean, I asked him to come prepared.
With his wallet open.
Yeah.
okay, well, I'm thinking out loud kind of, but what's the potential for the commission to loan money to the utilities, city utilities, so that we can expand that 500,000 to a higher number? So we give you for option 1, we give you 2.4 minus 500,000, so 1.9, and then maybe loan you 900,000, and then out of the 1.9. So we're spending 1.9, but you're obligated to pay 900,000 of that back to us. Does that make any sense at all?
As the city starts receiving revenue, the utilities start receiving revenue, they can essentially pay us back over time.
Right.
So we get it done, but we get something more back. We're not just shelling out 2.4 and.
Right.
Well, the first million is the Ready 2 money, right?
Yeah.
The only kitty that we have for this project
Yeah.
right now is that in the beginning, Boar's Head gave us numbers of what capacity they'd be using, and they've never been close to.
Yeah.
So monthly, we get an additional bill from them on water and sewer both of their discharges and of their use. And I mean, and that's what we use for a kitty to be able to put towards.
They're paying
Additional
more
projects.
than we estimated they would pay. And you're setting that aside for, okay.
Yes.
Well, that's good to know, but,
So really, the money, the 500,000 you're talking about just came from Boar's Head in a roundabout way, not from the
Yeah.
city, and not from the revenue that came from in a roundabout ways through the Boar's Head.
Well, I've got you talk about Boar's Head, you talk about hummus. I've got 500,000 from Boar's Head, but I've spent $1 million on the hummus
Yeah.
plant, so I'm still $1 million in the hole, $500,000 in the hole.
does it make sense to pursue? What's the urgency of making this decision?
We don't have to make a decision today, but I think we'll have to make a decision in the next month or two.
Okay.
But we have until 27 to spend the million, isn't that what you said earlier?
Yeah.
So we've got to
Spend or commit?
Spend.
end of or first of.
Let's just say end of 27,
So we have
approximately.
2+ years to spend that money.
The other issue is separate from deadlines connected to Ready is we own Rothrock.
Yeah, but we own Dubinger and we don't have it there either, to be quite honest.
You got water.
But we don't have sewer. We're talking sewer here. We have water to Roth. We have.
Well, we were never
We don't
going to
have
have the
water to
funds to do
Rothrock.
both. We were never going to have the funds to
originally,
do
we had
both.
it planned out originally, and then it got switched when that fell through that the city couldn't do what they decided they needed, what needed to be
Originally,
done.
we weren't gonna buy Duvinder.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the sooner we make a decision of what we're gonna spend on this project, the sooner we'll know where we stand in our efforts to put up another shell building.
When will the shell building be closed on currently that we have?
Anticipated mid-December.
I mean, we can't really commit to funds if we don't even have the closing of that guaranteed at this point, right?
Right. Right. We don't have the money in hand.
Right.
But I do like Scott's question. If we could loan the city the money, the difference, at least a portion of it,
Yeah.
What kind of term?
I think we could be very very liberal on those terms, and I don't think 5 minutes and 500% interest. That work, Mayor? No. I'm
Drilling
just-
wells.
But I mean, if they're going
Start
to
drilling your own wells.
if they're gonna
Throw
continue
septic
to-
systems in.
if they're going to continue to get this
Simple.
additional revenue from Boar's Head, then they would have. I mean, I think that's negotiable. I guess is the answer to that question. I don't know if Scott had something in mind when you had said that, but I think that would be a negotiable item and the terms and the.
My thought is the term has got to be a lot more favorable than any kind of bond issue that
Yeah.
they could float. And if we get 1% interest, it's better than giving the money away.
I mean, I'd even be open to no interest. It'd be better than giving.
I would
money
too,
away.
frankly.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can do that. I don't know because we're nonprofit and we're dealing with municipality. I don't know if the IRS gets its nose in there or not.
I don't know either.
I don't know. The city's utility would be audited, but audited, so you have to check with state board of accounts and how all that's looked at too.
Who at Baker Tilly handles your utility? Is
Jason.
Is it Jason?
That's where to start.
Well,
Okay.
between Jason, Lisa Lee, and Lori Rogers from State Board of Accounts, those three would be able to answer any of those questions.
So, based on this conversation, my homework will be to explore a loan from the Redevelopment Commission to city utilities. And then I will also do some research on 25,000 square foot shell building.
Yeah.
I guess one more question. We've talked in here before, we talked about, the term bottlenecks was brought up earlier. So the plant, if we put in a 36-inch line and if we get another Boar's Head or something that's a high capacity user, is the plant able to handle that if it gets there?
Our water, we barely use a third of our water capacity, and our sewer plant barely uses over a third of its capacity. Yeah, we've got plenty of capacity at both of our plants.
Because I knew that one time we talked about some sewer upgrades or
Yeah, I thought I remember
maintenance
reading.
or
Well,
something.
no, we need $30 million to fix our sewer plant, but
But it'll band-aid, baling wire and,
duct tape.
yeah.
But we operate it and operate it as well as we possibly can. I mean, you know, we have nothing that's high tech down there. Everything's Armstrong. But as far as capacity,
Okay.
we have plenty of capacity. Is that correct, Keith?
Yeah, from hydraulics and even just normal wastewater strength. I mean, anytime you're talking about industry, if you have an industry that's coming like a food processor,
Right.
that's huge loading, then you have to revisit it, but as long as it's typical wastewater.
For example, the company that went to Columbus, a milk company, if we would have wined and dined them and got that company because of what they put, the bacteria that they put through, they would have killed, we would have been bankrupt. And Columbus would get close to that, and they built a plant for them. What was the name of that company, Corey?
I can't remember.
But
That's not the name of the company. I just can't remember the name of the company.
it was had something to do with milk. I mean, literally directly with a milk company. So sometimes it's not the capacity; it's what they're putting in that we have to deal with.
At the wastewater plant, we have a hydraulic capacity and we have a biological capacity.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
balance both of those.
The numbers or the starting point at least is, the goal would be to be able to do option one. And let's figure out how we can finance it.
Okay.
Maybe target cost in that shell.
Yeah. Yep. That's on my list.
Yeah, do 30, do 25,000 square feet and do 30,000 square feet.
Okay.
And I assume 32-inch clear,
Yes.
32-foot clear, excuse me.
Yeah.
32 inches.
I knew what you meant. Well, hey, we can afford that.
Yeah, okay.
Getting back to the spaghetti manufacturer.
Yes, there you go. You know, that's right.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks, Keith.
Rothrock property, shovel-ready actions. We got your emails with Patriot Engineering attachments.
Yeah, so we'll start with the ask up front and then go into detail. My request is to enter into agreement with Patriot Engineering to do the following things: to do a pre-demolition asbestos review of the structures, to do a phase 1 environmental report, and then do a soil boring analysis for a total of $14,600. All things to help the marketability of this site, and this won't be the last request.
Well, you got another request also, right? Or is that everything?
Yeah, that's everything related to Rothrock.
Including the subsoil stuff?
Yes.
Okay. It's 14,000 total?
Yes.
That's not bad. And tell me how many structures there are.
Oh, well, there's 2 homes and 2 barns, at least. Because once,
1 second.
by agreement, Mr. Dishman's tenants are able to be there until the end of March. And so I want to be queued up and ready to move forward with the asbestos review, and then we'll advertise for demolition.
The asbestos review is of asbestos that's in the structures, right?
Correct. It has nothing to do with the site itself. That asbestos review is related to when we go out for a demolition RFQ, they will want to know. And if we don't have it, then they will charge us appropriately.
I see.
So if we want to demolish the structures, which we do, we might as well just do this up front and have the information and make it available to potential demolition contractors.
Well, I'm thinking, if we're gonna tear them down, what do we care? It's because when you are in the tearing down process, that's when you care, right?
Yes.
I'm with you. Okay, what do you think? We ought to do this, right? So I should entertain a motion to do this. Pursuant, is Patriot Engineering the only place you got an estimate?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any place to get one? Any place
Well,
else?
yes, there is, but I'm very comfortable with Patriot Engineering.
And you would prefer, for $14,000, why go out and spend? it?
Correct.
Okay,
I'll second.
got it. Further discussion? Not, all in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Carries unanimously.
Are we gonna go ahead and follow the timber and everything else on that property, or just leave it be for now?
I don't
As part of the
know.
tear down?
I'm not that far yet. I thought about bringing in a timber consultant to see.
Cause I mean, there is some woods
Yeah.
on those properties, and I live right down the street from that stuff,
Yep.
so. There's a.
Nice idea.
Amount of woods, so I wasn't sure if that makes it more, I mean, I know what we did over there to, you know, with what we just talked about spending the money on, and it does make it look a lot nicer. I think it would,
Yep.
might clean it, I don't know what it would cost, but might be worth considering.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
So that's my third homework
Timber.
assignment. Number one is,
There used to be 2 veneer companies in Edinburgh, and they had tree buyers. And some of those trees sell for a lot of money.
I don't know what kind of trees are on there. I haven't stopped, I guess I could stop and look at some of them, but
And you would know?
adjacently, yeah, I'm sure there's an app. Come on,
Okay.
Scott. You know there's an app.
There probably is.
There's gotta be an
You might
app for
have to
that.
wait for the leaves to come back on.
Yeah, that's true.
Look on the ground for walnuts, and those are
Yeah.
the trees you want to sell.
Yeah.
Okay, advertise and select tenant farmer. 3-year agreement.
yeah, so all of our, so our existing agreement is up for renewal. Well, actually, both of them. So the Dubinger tenant
Who's that?
agreement, Luane Hilbert,
Okay,
and then our other farm ground is with Aaron Stegall.
okay,
Both, we timed them because we thought ahead. They're both available for renewal. And then now we're going to add the Rothrock. And so this is a request to authorize me to advertise and select and enter into a farm agreement, of which I'll work with Jim. We have a standard farm agreement. But that's my request.
you want a motion, or you just a consensus, or what?
I would like the minutes to reflect.
So
Okay.
moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we authorize Corey to go forward in obtaining a 3-year tenant farmer agreement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Carries. Talent Attraction Program.
So in the 2023 plan amendment, we included language in our plan that allows you to consider this. I have not come to you thus far because the city and county graciously invested a portion of their American Recovery dollars into this program. Those dollars are, almost gone. I have about 29,000 available left to spend. I'm asking you for 30,000, which would match a $70,000 grant from the state to continue this program. So there are 2 cost items related to this program. One is being on the Make My Move platform. So they are the marketing platform. Could we do this by ourselves? Yes, we could. Would we have the same reach? No, we would not. So that's the one cost. The second cost is the actual incentive paid to the movers. There are 2 programs. There's the traditional program, which I'm most excited about, is somebody moves from out of state. It has to be out of state from a statutory standpoint. But they come to Henry County and they take a job at, pick your employer, doesn't matter. The minimum wage requirement we have set is $50,000. The other program is someone comes from out of state and they bring their remote job with them. We have had limited success in this, and Penny, please speak up, or if you disagree. I think our bottleneck has been the lack of housing. Well, we have at minimum 2 new housing projects coming online next year. And so I think it makes sense to maintain this program, continue to market, continue to work with our local employers. And so that is my request.
I'm interested in where the money comes from. You said you've got 29,000 left to spend,
Yes.
and you're asking for 30.
Yes.
So 1,000 more than the 29 you have left to spend.
So if I look at the cost to maintain a contract with Make My Move for basically calendar year 26, and the cost of moving incentives for 5, plus the state grant, you add all those up, and that's the total.
That's the 100.
Yes.
And how many have we actually seen move here?
We've seen 5.
One is gone.
Yeah. 2 took employment at New Lisbon
So
Telephone.
When's Iceland? Huh?
So we brought 5 here and 2 have left.
After a year.
What'd that do for us?
The economic activity for the year.
Yeah, what's their incentive?
It was 5,000 total. We've reduced it now to 4,000, and not all of that is cash. Some of that is in kind.
And a golf course membership and
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
I mean, it's
So
what's the estimated economic impact of bringing in 5 people, 5 families?
I could get that for you, but I don't have it.
Because I mean, $100,000 seems like a lot to bring in 5 families. Just running just pure numbers, not looking at anything else but financially. I
and
mean,
30 of that comes from us.
I can't imagine that a family would bring in a $20,000 impact to the community. That's a big number.
I Make My Move has that information. I just don't have it memorized, nor do I have it at my fingertips. I view this program as helping employers attract talent.
So back to my question on the 30. That's a brand new expenditure of 30,000.
Yes.
What's the 29,000 you have to spend?
It's from ARP money. I have 29,000 left available to me.
Is it in our?
No,
Yeah.
no. It's the city of Newcastle has part of it, and then the county has part of it.
So how much is it out of my pocket?
0 for the 29,000.
So
But if you all, I don't mean to be rude at all. If you all say no, thank you, I don't know. I can do a program for 29,000,
Okay,
and I'm not going to leverage 70,000 from the state.
I understand that. What I think you're asking for is that we put $1,000.
No, I'm asking for 30,000.
He wants 29 that he has, plus the 30 that we're going to give him, plus the 70 he's going to apply for the state.
from the state.
Total of 129,000. Is that correct, Corey?
Yes,
So you want 30.
Yeah.
yes.
And you have no hope of the 70 if we don't commit to the 30.
I don't know where else I would go and ask.
But you need the 30 to ask for the 70.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a matching grant.
Yeah, I'm with you.
No, not unless you got 30,000.
I could write you a check.
Keith,
I
thanks
just want
for
to get out of town before you go to the bank. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for your help. Appreciate it.
Take care.
When does the grant proposal have to be turned in?
I don't have a specific date for you. It is first come, first serve. And they tell me they're about 2/3 away through their allocation. Could that be a sales pitch? Absolutely, could be.
Well, I was just wondering if we had you could do a little more detail, get a little more info.
You mean on the economic impact?
Yeah. Then make a decision. Are we meeting again next month, or do we have anything we're gonna need to meet again? I know sometimes we don't with it.
One is not planned right now, but that doesn't mean we couldn't plan one.
So
I
the
mean,
30
I
will
don't know,
come out of
Melissa,
this.
you're a business in this community. I would love to hear what because I just, purely financially, it's hard to make the numbers make sense.
There are positions, even within our office, that would be very hard to fill from somebody within Henry County. I think of an Adam. You know, Adam at our office, that position is very hard to fill from somebody locally. Do we have positions that we can fill locally? Absolutely. But there are some, just like our GIS mapping person, you only have so many of those across, the whole United States that is doing the GIS piece. So, I mean, when we recruited, there wasn't really local people here. And so that person did move from out of state to here to do our GIS mapping. So I could see where that would be a benefit to some, even as small as us, thinking on Boar's Head's level, or if the data center was to come, or, some of those types of jobs definitely would probably be recruiting sometimes from out of state. So I could see where that would be beneficial in some aspect. I don't know, I mean, $20,000 impact, I'm thinking, okay, well, they are adding to utilities, they are adding to medical bills, they're adding to pharmacy and groceries. You add all that up and it probably doesn't take long to hit $20,000.
I don't think it takes many years.
Huh?
I don't think it takes many
No.
years at all.
Yeah, so I don't think that takes as long as what you think
Maybe
as
take
far
more
as.
than one, but
Yes, yeah, but if you're
One and
moving a
two.
family of 4 here, or,
Yeah.
if they've got kids and you've got the school system involvement and hopefully they're giving back to the community in other ways as well, that's a whole nother impact that I don't know that you're gonna be able to account for. I mean, we encourage community give back in our organization, but I know not all organizations do that. But even just that piece, if they're donating to, United Way, or, some of those Secret Families, some of those organizations that are out there making an impact in our community, it might not take long to hit that 20,000 when you look at the big picture.
The perfect example is Sam Petty from Elizabeth.
Yes, yeah, it's a great example.
Yeah, and then he brought someone else in, so there's 2 guys from out there.
Yeah. Yeah, Shannon was the same way at our place. I mean, he came in, Adam came from Ohio, Tom Green came from Ohio. We've had several that's come from other places.
Sam Petty's in the house out by you.
Yeah.
And his wife.
Yeah, I don't think it would take as long to hit that $20,000 mark as what at first you think, how would you hit that? Just groceries or, but when you think of doctor's appointments and medical fees and the basics,
multiple years.
yeah.
So the 30 would come out of the 149,000 that we got in the general account.
No, I would probably take it from one of the TIF accounts.
Okay.
It would, if you approve, it would be an obligated project on the obligated funds. It would be a new line item.
New obligation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have sustaining costs because we use our program all the time, and
Yeah.
I'm constantly updating people and email and things like that.
But I don't want this to be difficult either, so, we are happy to let the program go.
Are you really happy to let the program go?
Yes, because I'm not gonna go to the county council and ask,
Right, I know. who you're
because I
not.
know what the answer would be.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to the city council and ask, because I know what the answer would be. The Economic Development Corporation does not have
Right.
an additional 30,000.
So this
So,
is the only option really here.
this is the only option, but I don't wanna cause heartburn.
And we don't spend the money for the incentive until somebody actually comes.
So you don't get the reimbursement from the incentive either until you have the committed person coming. Is that Do you get the 70 from the state?
No, there's,
Not,
no,
it's a
yeah.
okay.
And it's not a straight reimbursement either.
Right.
Should, does anybody want to make a motion, or should we?
I will withdraw the request.
Okay. Makes it a whole lot easier.
It does.
That's everything that I have on the agenda. I know that coming down the pike will be a request of this organization to maintain the commitment that we made to the YMCA for before and after school child care. And that was
It's line 5 on your obligated fund.
no, it was 190 in round numbers.
Yes.
Yeah. And the reason it's coming down the pike is because the scope of what the WISE capital campaign has changed. It's been determined that the school system doesn't need for the Y to build 4 additional classrooms for before and after school childcare. The school system still needs whatever the Y can provide for childcare, especially at times of summer when school's out, spring vacation, Christmas vacation, Thanksgiving week, all that stuff. But it's not an everyday program. So the Y has determined not to build, not to add on enough to provide the 4 classrooms for before and after school childcare. They're planning to build instead 2 classrooms, 1 large room that can be subdivided into 2 classrooms to provide the backup for when school is out, essentially. It'll cost less money to do that. The commitment that this organization made actually replaced a commitment by someone else, right?
Ready 1.
By Ready One, yeah. And so at this point, the YMCA is trying to determine what its capital campaign will do and what it'll cost. And the question that it is asking is, will that $190,000, just under $190,000 commitment be maintained by this organization, and will the $500,000 committed by the city redevelopment commission over 8 years, 62.5 a year over 8 years, be maintained, and will the 300 from food and beverage,
Yes.
will the 300,000 commitment from food and beverage be maintained? And if so, that tells the Y what they have to go after, and if not, that tells the Y that may tell the Y they can't do anything. So we'll need to consider that sooner rather than later. So that's a reason to have another meeting. I don't know that there's going to be anything written up for us to consider. I just came from the Y, and they were dealing with it when I left. And so,
I was gonna say, I haven't seen anything from a council perspective yet. They haven't asked to be put on an agenda or
right,
anything as of now.
right. But they will be. They'll be asking sooner rather than later. So, no action necessary today. Okay, anybody else got anything for the commission? If not, we're adjourned with my thanks.
I know I'm way tardy, but I will not.